Senator Lindsey Graham is a Republican from South Carolina. Senator, welcome to Fox News at Night. Good to have you with us. Where are you on this Judge Roy Moore situation? I mean, you're a lawyer, so you clearly believe in due process, but that's not going to happen before this election, at least not in a court of law. So what now?
No, but we're in a political environment. When the allegations first came out, I said, if true, he should step aside. I've heard enough. I believe the women. He was barred from a mall. His behavior was so extreme in his 30s that apparently the Gadsden Mall put him on the no-fly list. That tells me a lot. I don't know anybody personally who's been banned from a mall, but when you put the whole puzzle together, it's pretty hard not to believe it. It has a ring of truth, and I think we're going to lose the seat we shouldn't win. And to my good friends in Alabama, your decision in the next coming weeks will determine whether or not Trump's agenda is successful, because I don't think Mr. Moore could be an effective senator given the baggage he has, and looks like Mr. Jones is on course to win, and he's not going to help us at all.
He's not going to vote for anything on this agenda. Tax reform, repealing Obamacare in part
Chuck
or in
Schumer's
whole.
the biggest winner if Roy Moore loses, and Trump's the biggest loser.
Well, what if Roy Moore wins? You know, there's a lot of talk about expelling him from the Senate.
You know, you don't want to prejudge, but I think most people up here have taken a hard look at this and believe that there's a lot to the accusations. And you know, I just, again, if your behavior is so creepy you can't go to the mall, it's pretty hard to come to the Senate.
Well, one of the things impacted by this we talked about is tax reform.
Right.
And we have our first GOP senator now openly saying he can't vote for this. Here's a little bit of Ron Johnson about why.
I wouldn't vote for it. It's just that simple, but doesn't mean I don't want to, vote for a real solution. And so that's why I work with, again, Senate, House, and the White House to get one.
Now, not to get too wonky, but he's concerned about some of the pass-through protections, the tax implications for small businesses primarily.
And so I won't get too wonky.
Okay. But listen, he's not just upset about the proposal itself. He's talking about the process and saying that he's been trying to raise these concerns all along.
He feels like he's been shut out. He's the smartest guy I know on business. When he talks, I listen. He's a really
But he
nice
says a
man.
lot of people haven't been listening. Like GOP leadership wouldn't listen to his ideas.
I think we've all been listened to. The bottom line is he's run a successful business. He understands business probably as well as anybody in the conference. I hope they'll listen to his concerns about the disparity between pass-through taxation and C corporation taxation. I'm listening, but I think Ron will get to yes. Let's put it this way. Whatever's wrong with this bill, we got to make it better, but if we fail, we're dead. If you want to destroy the Republican Party, fail on tax cuts. We failed on health care. We're going to try again. But if we can't pass a tax cut that's meaningful for business and working men and women out there, what good are we to the country? And that's the end of the Republican majority. So if everybody understands that if we fail on taxes, the Republican majority will cease to exist over time. That'll probably be the end of the party. Ron's got legitimate concerns. He's a really smart guy, but I hope we can get him to yes, because if we fail, that's it. That's it for us.
You have now issued a letter to the Attorney General. You say
Yes.
that there needs to be special counsel on Uranium 1 and Fusion GPS.
Yes, absolutely.
There are House investigations. There are other investigations going on. Why special counsel, and do you think you'll get one?
Well, number one, I think the Uranium 1 situation. The Russians basically gained control of this company, Uranium 1, between 2009 and 2013. They gave $2.35 million to the Clinton Foundation. They gave $500,000 to Bill Clinton to speak in Moscow. There was a lady who was trying to infiltrate the Clinton world, posed as an accountant who was a Russian spy. When you add all this up, the money being passed, the influence the Russians had on Uranium 1, I think deserves to be looked at. The money the Clinton Foundation got, the money Bill Clinton got. Fusion GPS. We now know the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign gave Fusion GPS $9 million. They went out and hired a former intelligence officer, a British spy, to go to Russia to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. I think the idea of a party paying a foreign agent to go to Russia to dig up dirt on your opponent sets yourself up for manipulation. I don't like it one bit, and there is no way Jeff Sessions or anybody in the Department of Justice can look at this thing without being criticized. You got some Clinton holdovers there. Jeff was on Trump's campaign. There is no way, and I love Trey Gowdy, but I disagree. There is no way the Department of Justice can look at Fusion GPS because it was part of the 2016 campaign. What are we talking about here? We're talking about $9 million going from the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign, which they never told anybody about, sat there and basically lied about it. I want to know where that money went, what the Steele guy did, and did the Russians manipulate Steele? I want to know about the dossier. The dossier was funded by the Democratic Party. At the end of the day, did Comey use it to get a warrant against the Trump campaign? Somebody needs to look at this outside the Justice Department. But the dossier was paid for by the Democratic Party. It was used by the FBI under Comey to get a warrant against the Trump campaign. If that's not worth looking into, what would be?
Well, let us know how this goes. We want to hear when you hear back from the Attorney General, if you do, and we'll watch to see if that special counsel gets appointed.
Thank you.
Senator, thank you. Good to see you. Well, coming up,